Hello viewers, welcome to this in another series of Carbon Chemicals Live. We do hope that you will have a very impactful session and that you will participate wholeheartedly. With me today is Jonoy Johnson, Product Development Agronomist for the Southeast region. Jonoy, thank you for coming on this afternoon.
Yes, Parker, it's a pleasure. Good day, viewers. Good day once again. I think it's the first session for the year, and I'm happy to be back and hope we can pass on some very effective knowledge to you, the listeners.
Indeed. And so we will be looking at our BASF portfolio this afternoon, where we will, of course, be dissecting each of the chemistries and, of course, bringing to you, as usual, our field results in terms of the data we've gathered and, of course, showing you the different testimonials of the farmers and the results of getting. My name is Dane Parker from the Central Region, and welcome to this afternoon session. So, you might be wondering, BASF, what is it? What does it mean? What are these chemistries you're talking about, Dana and Jonoy? And so, of course, it's a German company. But moreover, the tagline says it all. It says, Jonoy, we create chemistry.
And that's such a powerful statement.
But it doesn't stop there. It says, for a sustainable future. Wonderful. It says that we have partnered with an entity that speaks very much to what we are all about, which is let's grow your yields. And of course, we can't leave out the sustainability.
Yeah, because the sustainable future is what we're aiming at, right?
Indeed.
We need a sustainable future, especially in the agricultural industry, which I always say, food is very important, right? So we have to have a sustainable industry to have a sustainable future.
But can I just say, not just any food, nutritious food. We want food of high value. And of course, their headquarters are located in Germany, founded in 1865. This means that we are in, and along with a group that has experience, caliber, and of course, quality, which is another optimum standard that we embrace here at Carbon Chemicals.
1865. So you understand when they say we create chemistry, they are doing it for years, right? So that's a good legacy.
And again, the idea is to optimize agricultural production. Who doesn't want to increase and grow the yields?
Which is a must. And secondly, improve plant nutrition, right? So in combination with the chemistries they have and also the other aspects of the business, you're trying to improve your plant nutritional requirements.
And this, of course, gives you the overall crop viability, which is your yield and quality. I mentioned earlier, quality nutritious food. And so here too, we're looking at enhancing the quality of life of the growing population and include the farmer as a business person. So when you talk about BASF, remember those two things. Quality food that can be going worldwide, but want to talk about farming too as a business. The farmer must, of course, win at all times. And so let's dissect what we're going to be talking about, Jonoy.
All right, so the first product in the lineup, well, we're featuring firstly fungicides. So one of the first products will be Regnum. Secondly, Acrobat. Thirdly, Zampro. And then to top it off, Bellis.
Wow, these are some heavy hitters, guys. And so pay close attention. Did I say it? Get your pen and pencil, man, and paper, man, because come take some notes, because this is excellent class time. You're going to talk about the herbicide called Prowl. None like it especially this season. We're talking about onion cultivation. You're going to need this chemistry in literally your back pocket so as to give you that winning edge.
And to let viewers know, it's back, Prowl is back. You have been asking for it for months. It's back now.
Indeed. So the entire BASF line, of course, is very much and pretty much available. So Regnum is a systemic fungicide, but it has this active called pyraclostrobin. But I'm told you're getting a fungicide effect and you're also getting excellence effect. So anybody picks up a bottle of Regnum, that's what you're getting. You're getting preventative, you're getting curative, you're also in a position to eradicate whatever spores that are present, Jonoy.
So you're seeing that complete control, right? From start to the end. So preventive, as Parker said, curative, and eradicating the problem. And don't forget, the excellence effect.
This is all good stuff. All good stuff. So you recommended crops, you're talking about banana, your corn, your citrus, your vegetables, and of course, yams in particular. But what I like about the BASF line, and you're going to see these farmers, the application rates are low.
That is great.
What's the benefit of that? What does that mean?
Well,
what does that translate to the pocket?
Less impact on the environment firstly,
Yes,
and then towards the pocket now you're saving much per application. So if you're talking about you're a farmer spraying a knapsack based on the area that you have, or you're using on a boom spray rate, right? You're using less of the active to give you that control. So that's much saving on the pocket.
Right there, the winning combination. The environmental footprint is lessened, and you're saving on the dollar value, which is going to give you the higher return. Let's look further into regnum, and of course, we talk about the biostimulant effect or the excellence effect. So we talk about increased productivity in your plants. So the plants are greener, they canopy faster, and of course, if this is happening, it means that photosynthesis is taking place at a higher rate. And therefore, the food value and food production, John, is even higher. We're talking about reducing stress tolerance, which is ethylene production. And on the fungicide action now, John, what does that mean? What are we getting at there?
All right, so this product, higher concentration of pyraclostrobin, and I'm telling you the persons know pyraclostrobin from the bellies, which we'll speak on later. But with this active, you're getting a systemic route of action, right? And in terms of other effects you're getting, so preventative control I will mention, right? So if there's a case that the spore might want to land on your plant, you're getting control of that spore. Or for example, if the spore has landed and penetrated that plant system, the pyraclostrobin will attack those spore chains, break them up, and you get effective control right on spot.
Excellent. This is good stuff. And this, of course, is regnum in sweet yam. Now, farmers particularly would know that sweet yam is anthracnose will knock it down and knock the sense out of it, and you lose your investment. When you talk about control of anthracnose in your sweet yam, if you're not using regnum, then what are you using? We talk about the control versus the treated. You're seeing signs early January on farmers where the spores and the yellowing are occurring on the treated, on the untreated rather. But on the treated plants, they have canopied and you are seeing little to zero effect in terms of, and this is a side-by-side assessment.
And to point out, you're getting also the excellence effect. You're seeing that large, lush vegetative growth, right?
Yeah, look at the size leaves.
All right.
Yes. And that means that when it comes on to what now? The tuber production, the yam production, hey guys, you're going to see that result later on down in the crop itself. Just look at this canopy.
All right. So this is basically a testament of farmer hearing about the regnum and doing a broad spectrum application.
Some spray everything.
Spray everything, actually. And look at this
wonderful.
Powerful tuber.
What was the yield like here?
All right. So we're talking about, the farmer probably was seeing about a 45% increase, right? So
no, hold on, you can't just skip over that now. Say that slow for me, please.
All right. The farmer was seeing a 45% increase compared to what traditional farmers had reported getting, right? And to note, the farmer taking it further and also treated the heads.
Wonderful.
And followed
so 45% in terms of dollar value.
No,
that is sweet. That is good news right there. I mean, who doesn't want a 45% increase in anything right now? I mean, you're getting quicker sprouting. You're getting a larger canopy or leaf area. There's no anthracnose present. And of course, if the plant is growing at that rate, canopying at that rate, and producing at that rate, it means that you're going to be getting a higher yield all around. And that's what we're about here at Carbon Chemicals. Finding those chemistries, doing the legwork for you, so you can, of course, grow your yields. That's what we're about here at Carbon Chemicals.
Ooh, look at that.
This is another example, a prime example, John. I was involved directly in this one, so I have goosebumps just looking at the images right now, because it takes me all the way back to Anian Town and to that farm in particular. But what was happening here? This is coffee leaf rust. And anybody who knows coffee leaf rust, we're talking about a lot of leaf fall. So the productive area of the plant is reduced. There's no leaf present. And so you find that the berry sizes are going to fall. So you're going to need more plants to fill that box up to give you berries, to give you the return on it from your coffee plantation. But we did it more specific. We went in while the rust was present.
As you can see, based on the picture on the left, you see that the spores present. So if you take your hand and wipe against those spots, you'll see those spores coming off. But continue, Parker.
But that tells you now that efficacy, and that word that we're dropping this afternoon for your vocabulary, efficacy.
That is it.
That is it. So what do I mean by that? We control on site, on spot, almost immediately. What we did, one application of Regnum, 10 mils per gallon. We ensure that we did excellent coverage. But even if you can't go through and get the canopy, and just ensure you get coverage. You have your breakthrough you can have add to it if you so desire. It's systemic. Just get your coverage. Now, up to 14 days later, that's what we're seeing on the side to the left here where my mouse is and cursor is. And what does that mean now here? The spores are shut down. They are killed. And they are literally removed from the plant. Now, bear in mind now, farmers, other chemistries to treat coffee leaf rust would have resulted in defoliation.
Good point, Parker. Good point. Because we have seen in the past where farmers complain that those chemistries cause severe leaf fall, which cause an impact from UV radiation and also stress on the plant. But continue.
So with those two factors in mind, as I mentioned, that added stress, the leaf fall, the berry sizes are going to drop, and then your production is going to drop.
Yeah.
So what does that mean for you in terms of productive capacity now on a 20-acre, 30-acre farm? It means that you're talking about, you might have to think about laying off workers.
And have to wait on the next season.
And wait on the next season now to make back some money. Yeah. So with Regnum, you don't have that consideration.
Effective control.
You're going to get effective control in terms of that. Now, this is in the next line now, John. We're talking about Acrobat.
All right. So this now is one of my favorite fungicides. I started working with this from even nursery stage where I saw 2 applications gave me lovely control against damping off. But in terms of active ingredient, this contains both mancozeb and dimethamorph. So you're getting both a contact protection and systemic approach from the dimethamorph aspect. But getting further in terms of disease, Parker.
So we talk about the mode of action is systemic, but more particularly it is a targeted action now. We're talking about both protectant as well as curative. You're talking about translaminar movement. I wonder if any of my farmers can just speak to that on the live now. Type in the chat. Tell me what you understand from the word translaminar. I'm going to break it down in a minute, but I want you to participate in the discussion. So Stephanie is there online waiting to read your responses in a moment. The diseases in particular are the troubled ones, Janoy, the troubled ones. This set of diseases have always been known to wipe out the crop.
Yeah, man.
Tell us about them.
So if everyone or anybody doing pepper supposed to know about phytophthora, especially when you get that heavy rainy period, right? Wow. You're seeing massive loss of root zone. And also downy mildew, and tell you the cucumber and cucurbits farmers are supposed to fear that one.
Yes, man, indeed. And the Irish potato farmers, when they see early blight, any blight, early or late, they quiver in their boots. But guess what? That's why we've introduced Acrobat. No need to fear anymore, farmers. We can step in the field knowing that we have a certain level of confidence in these chemistries, tested, tried, and proven under multiple conditions. In multiple environments right across the length and breadth of the island by your agronomist, be it Dennis, be it yourself or John I. Johnson. So the recommended crops, we're talking about cabbage, your tomatoes, which are of course in your solanaceous family, your cucurbits, like you mentioned earlier, your cantaloupe, your watermelon, your cucumbers, and of course don't leave out pumpkin because it does play an important part in the local economy at the same time. And the application rate, again,
very low.
Very low, 10 to 20 ml per gallon, which also means that the rate are low and the application doses are low. Therefore, when you pick up a pack of Acrobat, you have multiple uses inside of it.
And to point out, Parker, you can do both foliar application or drench application. So be the case that you can manually mix the chemistry in your pan and do a drench application. You can do it if you have the basically able to run it through a drip system, you can do it as well. So it's a very effective fungicide in giving that control up top and below.
Biggest question perhaps on somebody's mind right now. If I run this through my irrigation system, will it clog it?
All right. So what we recommend, generally, if you are running through your drip system, allow it to settle, and basically what you do, take off that top portion and fertigate that or run that through your system.
And it doesn't impact the efficacy, the quality
No.
of the results.
Not at all. Not
Excellent. So farmers, you hear it from our lips, right into your field, get it done. Don't be bothered down by these diseases. Move into your crop with your Acrobat. Now, we talk about cucurbits earlier. This is pumpkin.
Definitely.
We talk about it because we want our pumpkin farmers to be fully aware, our cantaloupe farmers, our cucumber farmers
listen up.
to be very
Sure.
much aware. This might very well be the question for this afternoon. What's the downy mildew strategy?
And
What two chemistries are we going to be using?
let me input in a Parker. Pumpkin price is nice,
There you
very
go.
high right now,
So,
listen.
So farmers, you have the option to step into that field with your Acrobat. Early control gives you this quality coverage in terms of canopy, and the growth is going to be there. If the plant is no longer under stress from downy mildew attack, it means then that it's better able to set those fruits, right? And if it is setting those fruits, we're talking about higher value commodity, more fruit per plant, and in the long term, of course, you're getting more pumpkin over that acre, and you're going to be seeing the long-term benefit in terms of cash return.
And this is the foliage you're looking on to go into a season. And based on what I'm seeing, this look like it's in the hillside.
Yes,
right?
it is. And so high humidity.
High humidity, right? And look on that foliage leading into flower set now. This is what a farmer is looking for to get that size pumpkin or get the production that he or she is looking for. So this is a nice example of effective control from your Acrobat.
Excellent stuff.
Wow.
Wow.
Look at that.
Now, if you see this Irish potato field, this is in Kellets, Clarendon. And I'm going to point out some things to you here. This is overhead irrigation.
Sprinklers.
Sprinkler. So guess what?
That.
Irish potato and overhead wetting, that's a no-no right there. Everybody fear that.
Yeah.
But if you have Acrobat, no need to fear. Because what? The dual action, contact systemic. That's number one. And then two, antisporulant. So even if it's present, it's going to shut it down and it can't move any further. And so that's the excellent response you're going to be seeing when you apply Acrobat.
And you made a good point, antisporulant, Parker. In a situation that where you're using sprinklers, generally they will cause the spores to spread even further.
There you go,
and
splashing.
And look at that control. Wow,
so lush green density, but not just that, farmers. The plant has canopied. So that the humidity conditions beneath the canopy is present.
Yeah.
That alone favors the development of your blight.
Blights, yeah.
That warm days, cooler night temperatures, spores are going to be all over the place. But yet still, we can know in confidence, we can plant in confidence, knowing that
you don't have any late blight or
we have Acrobat. We have Acrobat, so we can farm. Farming has become more simplified. So if you're looking to get into agriculture, reach out to us at Carbon Chemicals. You know our Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp numbers. And if you tune into Power 106 on Wednesday mornings, we are very much there, in tune and always informed. Now, another example of how Acrobat is used in field.
This is what I like to see. So a lot of farmers who are interested in doing the MD2 variety generally fear fight after.
Yes.
So any rep would tell you that if it's an area that you are having waterlog issues, don't plant MD2.
Wow.
That's what they will say. Yeah. Even this week, a guy told me that somebody deterred him from planting MD2.
Wow.
But I was saying to that guy, if you have Acrobat, you are able to plant the crop and get a great yield from the crop. Basically you can treat the planting material with the Acrobat. So you can spray it on, right? And when you have established your field, you can do foliar applications or still the drench applications to those fields and minimize any signs of fire turtle. Look at that field.
This is excellent. This is excellent.
Spacing, even population, look at that. Leaves are healthy, going into extreme vegetative growth.
Yes.
This is what I like to see.
And this is the confidence that we try to impart in our farmers, that because we have the chemistries, then we understand the conditions under which perhaps you have a property, a piece of land to farm.
Definitely.
And so why be scared of trying to go into what you love to do or would like to do, and then be deterred also.
True.
But we have the chemistries to solve some of these issues here and now this afternoon, farmers. Again, this is Scotch bonnet production, and this is a fight after strategy. Write this down in your books, put it to one side, save it in your phone, screenshot this picture if you see it right here, and save this. This is the fight after strategy. Only one product missing from this.
Yeah.
Only one product. Can I ask this question? One of the viewers who are there, we did one on, what was it, soil. So there's one product that's missing from this. If you could take a wild guess. Yeah.
Name that product.
Name that product. It's a new product. It starts with S. And it almost rhymes. It sounds like Nita. But I won't tell any more from there. I'm going to leave it at that. No more clues. So Acrobat and Zampro was rotated. Notice the word we're using here now. To control the problem. So this is prophylactic.
Definitely.
So this is preventative now. So how did we go about doing this?
All right. So generally, persons who do Scotch bonnet peppers know that once you use plastic mulch, I don't know if a person picked that up. The peppers are being grown on plastic mulch. And what happens under the plastic is just you have high temperatures, right? Or sometimes fluctuations of temperatures, which stress the plant and cause them to be susceptible to fight after. And in the case that even if a farmer can't regulate the water and causing flooding, they have prevalence of the fight after. So what we did was to come in with a preventative strategy of rotating Acrobat with Zampro. We did Acrobat foliarly, Zampro through the drip line, and also foliarly. But look at the control. Even stand, no wilting, lush green growth. And this is what we call arid temperatures. Some severe conditions.
So these conditions should favor the development of Phytophthora. But with the introduction of Acrobat and Zampro, then the problem is of course nullified. But should you have the problem, John, because I suppose somebody's asking, so we cannot use it preventatively?
No.
I mean, did we come up with a strategy altogether to just say, it's only preventative?
No, man. This will be very, very effective in curing that problem as well, right? So if it's a case that you have observed several plants going down, you can come in with that strategy and minimize the amount of plants you will lose, right? So you're basically stopping those spores from spreading and also locking down potential infection to other plants. Right?
Excellent.
So
and that's what we did in the soil. The issue was already present.
Don't need the product.
No. I won't tell anyone the product yet. I remember I give you the clues already. We did it recently. That was a different presentation. It's an excellent product, just the same. It can be combined with Acrobat or Zampro in both curatively as well as preventatively for your Phytophthora problems. And of course, again, we talk about Zampro. I notice a trend here, John, and farmers. The active ingredients are doubled. So you have protectant and you also have curative action. So in one product, you're getting both.
Both solution.
So BASF is not playing around with the chemistries. They've thought these things through and to say, why would I cause my farmer to go back to the farm store or to the different purveyors to buy again when I can provide a solution that works under the different conditions?
All right. And here's the takeaway, Parker. You're minimizing, look at it. You're basically putting two products in one. So you're minimizing and lowering that cost to the farmer and giving the effective control that the farmer desires.
And not just that.
Go on.
From a chemical perspective now, we talk about resistance management on a deeper level now. You know. This is what we talk about here, resistance management. What does that mean? In providing effective control with these two chemistries, two actives, you limit the chances of these spores developing any sort of resistance to a dimetamorph or a mancozeb or something of the sort, so that you now can rotate deeper and wider and still have effective control. So this is good stuff all around farmers. Protectant products, curative. When we talk about downy mildew, your late blight, your Phytophthora again, Zampro is a product that you call upon. If you're growing your cucurbits, your leafy vegetables, your solanaceous crops, your onions, Zampro is a product you need to have in your arsenal. And again, to the low application rates.
And let me highlight, you see that SC formulation, makes this product very compatible with a lot of products out there. So you're talking about your foliar nutrition, your insecticide. This is very compatible. You won't experience any phytotoxicity once you apply Zampro to that mix, right? And liquid formulation, a lot of persons love it. Right?
Easier
Zampro
to
is their
apply, easier to mix
easy to
out.
apply.
Excellent,
And as
excellent.
Parker said, low application rate. So persons who are going into those cucurbit crop right now, I know watermelon is a big trend right
Yes,
now.
yes,
So
yes, indeed.
you need that, or if you're doing your onions or your
Indeed
tomato
so.
sweet pepper, Zampro is the name to call.
Yes, so once you're going to these
Wow,
conditions,
wow.
then there you have it. No, this is cucumber
That
at
is
its
it.
best.
Yeah, man.
We can catch the hat right, yes or no?
Yes.
And say yes, indeed. So what does this mean? What is this picture saying? You're looking at effective control.
Beautiful.
Now, this is preventatively, but we're also going to show you curatively. So let's not think that we have the discussion one-sided now. The preventatively in the sense that we went in with this crop early stage, just transplanted or just growing out,
Yeah.
and we attacked. We made sure that the plant system was fully covered, and at the same time the application rate was at its point. Now, what it means from here on out is that even if the spores land on this crop, it has very little to do. It can't go anywhere because it's already protected with Zampro. It's already armed and dangerous, literally. And so the crop cannot be impacted going forward. And if you look at the dense canopy now, this farmer would have been harvesting multiple times, going through the field. So even from a point of spread, he would have been very much a carrier of spores. And because of this high canopy, the canopy also locks in that moisture, which would, of course, cause any issues of the sort. And you're not seeing it here.
And that would have been my next question, Parker. Based on looking at that lush growth, you'll think that is early in the crops. But as you can see, the farmer is harvesting at that stage.
Indeed,
and for persons who have never used Zampro, generally at that stage, you expect serious defoliation.
Exactly.
Right?
And so you talk about extended crop life.
That is
so you can get more
picking
from your field. So this is good. This is beyond excellent.
So when you say persons picking cucumber for 2 months, is it possible? You're telling me that it's possible?
Very much so. Very much so. We talk about being armed with the downy mildew strategy.
Yeah.
So 2 products would have been mentioned already. Have you seen any responses yet, Stefan, in terms of the feedback from the farmers? Not as yet. So we're expecting you to drop in the chat and to tell us, or you can even reach out to us on our WhatsApp line, 876-401-4766. And Stephanie is here. We'll read your questions as you participate in the discussions. So another example of Zampro in field, Janoy.
Flexibility of Zampro, looking at that.
This is beyond flexibility. Now, I want to emphasize something here. This is a side-by-side row.
Okay. Looking good.
The left side of the field compared to the right side. So understand now that blight is on the left and no blight is present on the right. How is that achieved?
I mean, no, blight is present on the right and none on the left.
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
So there you have it. So
you want me to guess?
How could this be achieved?
About 1 or 2 applications as Zampro.
There you have it.
Seal it off.
There you go.
All right, that's it.
So there you have it, the conclusion written out in the statement. So in the treated area, literally farmers, left and right, neighbors, right hand, left hand, clasped. And there is no blight present in the treated area.
Yeah.
When compared to the control.
And look at those leaves wilting over there.
And leaves are wilted. Flower is dropping off. The plant is injured, literally. Under stress. While the treated area, no signs whatsoever.
Imagine if the price was high at the time.
There you have it. Jeez. The farmer is winning again. Another example of how Zampro was used. Again, this was a targeted application. The intent, of course, was to determine. We wanted to make sure that downy mildew was present already.
Yeah. That's how we do it. So we do preventative, curative to show the flexibility of the product and not just sell you just what you call it, hocus pocus.
Yeah. No time for that here around. No. Yeah. So the disease is present, and we said, okay, let's step into the seal, like the bosses we are. And so we did the application. And so for 2-3 weeks going on in, you're getting green foliage.
That's it. Consistent.
shutting down, limited signs. So there's no spread whatsoever because the actives are very much engaged and being utilized throughout the plant system.
Definitely.
And because they're systemic now, farmers, you're getting that translocation movement of these chemistries within the plant system. So you're not seeing any further. As compared to the control era where another chemistry was being used, it is touted to control downy mildew, but guess what?
So wait, you're telling me that side by side with that
Side by side comparison.
Okay.
Here you go, John. Further into the crop.
Look at
This
that.
is what I'm talking about. This is way deep into harvesting. The farmer picking 2,000-3,000 pounds of cantaloupe and moving on. And we said, listen, man, look at the field in question.
Lovely. Foliage still intact, so you're getting that shade from the sun, as I always stress. So you won't get any sunburn right there.
So the fruits are very much intact.
Fruits are intact. You won't get overripening due to the excess heat and all of that.
There you go.
And look at even the size difference.
Even the size difference of the fruits.
Consistency of the
So
fruit.
you're getting more production out of the same unit area by simply just switching over to Zampro.
And persons might look and say, but those leaves are still affected, but they don't really understand that having a foliage like this can give you an extended 2 weeks.
Exactly.
And with that extended yield in cantaloupe, no,
Then
money to the bank.
Yes. So you pass bonus and beyond profit and going into surplus now.
Yeah, nice.
And so that's what we talk about when we talk about the chemistries being utilized in the various crops. Have you figured out the downy mildew strategy as yet, farmers?
I figure it out. Come on.
Yeah, man. I'm awaiting the feedback. Have you figured it out yet? Which two chemistries have we spoken of just now that you can rotate to have your downy mildew controlled effectively in your curcubates? That's the question.
I think they probably found out, by the way.
They found out.
Right.
I'm still waiting for the feedback. I want to hear somebody shout it out and tell me. John, I describe for us what is happening
All
in
right.
this
So in this case, basically driving through on a regular visit, and a farmer pounds out and say, having downy mildew issues in the field, right? So then the first thought come to my head. How to control this are, no, firstly, basically seeing what kind of incidents we're having here.
Yes.
When I went, basically saw some early signs. So did one application of the Zampro. And look at that, a week after the one application, you see those spots?
Yes.
That's a downy mildew. Caught in the neck, right? So that's what we're talking about, stopping that sporulation, stopping that spread, and not causing a defoliation. So you won't lose that leaf. You have the fungal problem stopped in the track, so the plant can still grow effectively. And the cantaloupe in this area is downy mildew is a major problem to cantaloupe, and the control was very effective. So this is Zampro at work again in the field.
So you name the curcubate. You can move in, of course, with your Zampro. Again, another example. This is watermelon. I'm told that this is the season where rainfall is prevalent, and the farmer say, make a big money, I make some money out of this product.
So you know, the farmer decided to take a chance in the what we call the winter season or the fall season, right?
Yes.
But generally we have a lot of rainfall.
Indeed.
So the farmer went through, included Zampro in his rotation with Acrobat, and look on the control you're seeing there. Look, despite having that heavy weed pressure,
yes,
look at the control. You probably had a one incidence of the downy mildew coming in, right? And look at that control. You see that? You see the picture,
farmers,
right?
let me just point this out. It's not that you're not going to see the presence of. So even if it enters the field,
you can't stop it.
There's no further
spread.
So
you might have error in application by the sprayman, but once it enters and that sprayman does the job it needs to do, you'll get that control.
There you have it, man. There you have it. So another effective means of control of your downy mildew, your blight, using your Zampro.
Using the Zampro.
Excellent stuff. We're on to bellies. Another key component in your BASF line. We've spoken of Regnum, Acrobat, Zampro, and we're on to bellies. Double action again. We're talking about pyroclostrobin and boscalid. You're talking about fungicidal action as well as excellence effect. You're talking about protection.
And I don't want to just fly over the excellence part.
No, we're going to knock it home,
A
Jonathan.
lot of persons see bellis as just a fungicide, but I'm telling you, the technology behind this product, the excellence effect,
Yes.
is the effect to speak about. And you're going to see further on. But
Indeed,
continue,
indeed.
continue.
You see, we want to explore the full potential of these chemistries so as to give the farmers the full benefit or the extended benefit of using a Regnum, a Zampro, or Acrobat, or a Bellis in this case to give you that quality response so you can go back to the bank and say, adding more money and not taking out any.
Yeah, man.
So we're talking about the translaminar, the translocation activity.
Yeah.
We talk about purple blotch in your onions, your powdery mildew, your downy mildew, and the different forms of blight. Being this in case this one you're talking about early blight, as well as black rot in time, and you talk also about anthracnose.
Wait, can I add, Parker?
Certainly.
When we talk about powder mildew in a greenhouse or greenhouse setting, when you talk about control, based on testimony I got this week,
Yes.
the young lady and the spray man say one application of bellis.
And that is it.
Powder mildew is out.
That is it.
Right? So the competitor product, they have to be basically doing follow-up application. But they tell me one application of bellis and powder mildew is out.
And farmers understand what John I just said. This multiple application with a competitor product is a cost. Each application comes at a price. You talk about wages, you talk about time. All of these are costs. Versus a BASF Bellis. When you do this application, it's a one-off scenario. Spores are shut down and you move on into your production. And the same laborer, the same person on the farm can move on to something else.
Definitely.
Rather than to go back in and go do some more spraying again. Oh, the problem has not been knocked down. So tell us about the excellence effect that you mentioned earlier.
All right. So based on excellence, what are the benefits you're looking for? Increase nitrogen levels in the plant. And you're going to see it based on some of the demonstrations we have done. So you're getting a bigger foliage, a more robust plant, right? And for persons who do sweet pepper and thing, once you put on bellis, just make sure you know that the trellising game have to be up.
That is right.
Because you're getting that foliage and that growth from that response from the plant. And also higher stress tolerance. You see, because that water availability gets higher, the plant can withstand stressful conditions. So leading now into hotter months, you want to include bellis. And I don't want to limit it to just indoor production, Outfield production as well, you see the response, so high stress tolerance. And the other noticeable things, I tell you, Parky, when you see flowers and fruit, like crazy. Bellis is the formulation for that. So with that excellence effect, you're stimulating more flowers, more fruit set, so that leads you into that production. And I tell you, we have some data to share, but continue, Parker.
I don't want the farmers to... I touching about point number 1 before I skip the slide.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for that. Because the plant has more nitrogen, farmers don't think it goes into vegetative mode. Nitrogen assimilation is also paired with potassium usage. Let me get into some deep science for you now. What did I say? The nitrogen assimilation is also a cofactor with your potassium usage. And that's why you get more blossoms.
Yeah, definitely.
There on spot. You're getting more flower set because nitrogen is also picking up and signaling to the plant, move more potassium into it. So what you'll get now are larger leaves. Because what you've just done is to activate the movement of that potassium, which is going to give you those broader leaves too. And at the same time, it's moving zinc, giving you some extra large leaves. And while that is occurring, you're getting a higher rate of photosynthesis altogether.
A balancing one.
So you balance the plant out literally, and you're getting that movement in terms of productive capacity from the plant. This is thyme that we did in New Forest.
Lovely, look at that.
And the comparison in the middle says it all.
Night and day.
The same time span in terms of having established.
Yeah.
However, the excellence effect has kicked in.
So wait. Just by looking, Parker, I'm guessing that you treated the left.
Indeed so.
Okay.
So the one with the tag or the left of your screen is what? Where the cursor is what we would have treated. This is after 3 applications.
3 applications.
21, 28, and day 35 after having been established. And what happens now, 2 things are happening here, farmers and viewers. The black rot we spoke of
None.
is literally eliminated from the plants. And then 2, you're getting this added growth levels, increased growth levels. So you're getting the plant saying, all right, instead of 12 weeks, let's get this thing over let's do this in 21 days, or let's do it in 35. Let's not stay so long for 3 months. We don't have time for that. So 10 weeks, 8 weeks, so you can cut this time. It's ready for market.
And a good point you made, Parker. Look at that even formation.
And the heads, uniform.
Even and uniform.
Right
heads.
through the field.
So you can predict the weight that they're taking out.
No, I will have you know this, John.
Whoa.
The farmer cut my side before, and 2 weeks later,
yeah, man,
the control part was not yet ready.
Not
so
noted it,
so it's a problem and a half. There you have it. There it is for your view.
Excellent.
Right? Now, thyme is being sold now, today. Since last week, I don't know if the price changed for $800 a pound.
You see that?
So let's do some math here now, farmers. We're talking about 535 pounds from my treated area. And you still have to wait another 2 weeks to cut the next part. We're talking about close to $500,000 right here and now.
Right away.
In time.
And you could start establishing a new field. Before you're ready to harvest the control.
There you have it.
Wow.
There you have it. So he could have rotated another crop in the same space of land within the shortest possible time. So earlier maturity, higher levels of uniformity,
which we see.
We're talking about a reduced disease impact.
True.
More marketability of the heads, of course, and again, an increased yield per unit area.
And these are very important points for a guy, anyone planting time.
So the same plot of land giving you more return by using the excellence effect.
Yes, when I tell you about data.
3 applications of bellies and you back off. And can I just say, I want to say one more thing before we go. No fertilizer was added to the treated area.
Good point. Good point.
So we no bother. We can back off with nutrients. We didn't use any granular fertilizers whatsoever.
Parker causing problem now, man.
Because I don't want you to stop fertilizer no farmers, but this is the truth that we have to speak when we come out. Because of the experiences, the plant is able to move because it's pulling nutrients from soil and it's storing. Now, had we gone with nutrients, then this field would have been locked out and you couldn't find spaces to work within the shortest possible time. And we could have actually cut back the timeline in terms of infield.
That's it.
So, tomatoes now. This is Manchester. This was done on Delhi. And we counted sometimes even 14 fruits.
No, and let's say, bellies and solanaceous are coming like a pair.
Yes.
So when you're doing it in a solanaceous crop, do not leave out the bellies. Let me tell you. Both fungicidal and nutritional benefits, do not leave it. Go ahead, Parker. Look at that. Look at those clusters.
Even with the open field salad tomato, we had a higher level of consistency. The plant started to behave like it was indeterminate and no longer a determinate plant because it was just pushing. So we had shorter internodes, more blossoms and fruit set, but the plants say, you know what, let's forget about 3 feet tall. Let's see what we can do. Let's expand on the potential. And so you are now able, we had to start taking other branches and laterals and started to tie them up just the same.
So you're telling me, Parker, you're basically going in some deeper science, So you're unlocking the genetic potential.
There you have it. Now remember, you know Delhi, John. That's our seed from Caribbean Chemicals. And if you have plant a plumbing tomato, plant Delhi as yet. I want to tell you, if you haven't planted Delhi, grow tomato yet. No, Delhi is already high yielding. Yes? My best record is like 104 fruits per plant.
Yeah, nice.
And with an excellence effect, we doubled that with ease. We're talking about the plant's capacity to produce. You're giving the winning edge. Now, At $50 and $60 a pound, we don't even want $100 a pound for a tomato. Just want 60 and 50.
No, it's not
You
even,
can see the results from the performance of the crop itself.
it seems like even too much tomato to harvest.
Too much tomato to
You get
harvest.
tired.
It's work beyond work. We took the farmer trellised this plant, and he told me that, Mr. Parker, I made a mistake. I made a fundamental mistake. I should have leave it on the ground. It's too much work. It's too much work.
Too much
Too much work. We're talking about a determinate tomato that is my height,
Whoa,
and I'm 5 feet 11 inches.
look at that.
So too much work. So here we have again another example of what it is to use
All right.
an excellence. But John, more specifically, I want you to take on this matter here and now, because there are some key points I want you to drive home here.
Let me take this on because we hear out there that there are other generics to Bellis, right? So we're talking about products that have the same active as Bellis. But knowing us, we use data. Data is what we push, right? So the aim was to compare Bellis to 2 other generics on the market. And what we found out in the sweet pepper plant, Parker, I tell you,
Go ahead and share it, John.
it didn't surprise us, but let me put on the data, right? What we realized that Bellis had a higher percentage of number of fruits per plant. And what I mean in that 22% for compared to one of the genetic, Bellis had a 22% higher fruit count, right? And to the other, it had about 30% higher fruit count per plant. So you're getting that? So you see that increase in harvest and production. And we didn't only did one sampling, we went on to do a second sampling, right? And this, we realized that the Bellis treated era had 31% higher fruit count compared to the one of them,
The generics.
one of the generic. And then in the next case, it had a 35% higher fruit count, right?
So you know what happened there, John?
No, that's
Excellence.
Excellence. So
There's only one Bellis farmer.
that is it.
There's
Parker.
only
That
one
is
Bellis.
it.
It could have the same active ingredients, but there's only one Bellis.
Bellis. So
There's only one Bellis on the market. And even if you choose to use the other products, I mean, hey, what you're not going to be getting is what Janai just mentioned and what we've been talking about.
Effect.
So something is missing.
That is it.
And then too, where Bellis is concerned, you're getting premium quality product from 1865 till now.
Definitely.
So
Quality.
so quality and world standard is what we speak of.
So what we observe in a Parker, so just by looking at the plant before we even took the data,
Yes.
right? We saw that greater foliage, larger foliage,
Yes.
earlier flower and fruit set, right? That was noticeable.
Wonderful, yes.
Also, larger plants. And generally, with the fungicide effect, no signs of any circus spore and no powder mildew. The plants were very clean. And this farmer had to say, Janai, I need more labor to come catch up with the trellising.
Wow.
Because fruit set was crazy. And an important point was that the farmer had a house that he was picking before this. And what we observe is that these plants caught up to that first house.
Wonderful stuff.
So you see the performance that they're getting from the Bellis, right? So you can basically use the advantage and kind of time your crops.
Exactly.
Right?
So you want to come earlier into market, you can go Bellis Excellence and drive the plant and get what you need to get going. So there you have it, farmers, in terms of the chemistries themselves, in terms of the fungicide programs and the benefits. If you've missed some of this and if you just tuned in, welcome. Go back, fast forward, rewind, take your notebook, get some notes, get a good clean sheet of paper and a brand new pen. We're sharing nothing but facts here this afternoon where our BASF portfolio is concerned. They create chemistry, but we say let's grow. So when you tie the two together, John, it's nothing but excellence all around. So we move into our herbicide line, which of course is Prowl. And again, too, John, like Bellis, there are other pendimethalines, but there's one Prowl.
One Prowl.
So don't be fooled by what is happening where you see a pendimethalin active on the bottle. If it's not from BASF, then I'm not sure what you picked up.
This is basically the only pendimethalin on the market with a coated formulation.
And the benefits of this, farmers, is that it's not going to stain your sprayer. your spray canister.
Yes,
You're
true.
not going to have this residue staining your equipment. And two, you're going to get longer residual action for the weed control side of the equation.
That is
Where
it.
the other pendimethalins are concerned, you normally get movement within the soil if you add excess moisture through rainfall and other irrigation practices. So
So basically what Parker is saying is that, if you were to apply Prol and a shower of rain come, you will still have particles of the Prol still locked onto the soil based on that coated formulation.
yes.
If it was the other pendimethalin, all of that will be washed and you'd have to reapply.
Leads
Right?
true. But if there's a crop established, January, and that's the crop that you've established and that's the one that you need,
Yeah.
once that moisture comes on, that movement along the film or horizontally in your soil can also impact the growth and stunt the crop that you have.
All right, yeah. So if you get that quick release of the pendimethalin active, you'll cause severe stunting.
Severe.
especially
It might
for
kill.
those-
Might even kill.
Yeah, man,
And we've
definitely.
seen it in crops like pumpkin and onions where an early application of certain chemistries that are pendimethalin based, but
Not coated.
it just stunt the crop. The onions are just there saying, wow, I wish somebody could just free me up right now. And it just stunted for weeks on in. You measure, what's happening? Fertilizer, same thing. Because the pendimethalin is stuck right at root zone. Now what we have to say to the farmer is flush the soil, literally leach the herbicide from out of the soil. And so it's selective, broad spectrum, residual weed control action that we're talking about here now, as well as pre-emergent. All of this simply means that if you'll put it down on the soil, you're killing the weed seeds that are present
Definitely.
as they germinate. So Prol needs moisture so as to activate, but while that is absent, you can still go on and lay down your Prol and not lose the benefit of that herbicide action that you've just employed.
Definitely, because based on that encapsulated formulation, even if it's a dry application, it will lock to the soil, and when there's available moisture, it will continue to or start to release.
Excellent. And so in your onions, your peanut, your Irish potato, your sugar cane, we've done it even in cabbage, lettuce. But we have a strategy that we've developed and we're going to be sharing that with you this afternoon.
Lovely.
So, it's only applied at 30 mils or 2 tablespoons per gallon. And so you work this out in terms of your broad acre. 1.5 liters can do a 200-liter drum, or depending on the soil type, that may even vary to a lower rate.
So 1 liter to
So 1 liter to 1.5, depending on your soil. So if it's a sandy soil versus a clay soil, the pendimethalin tends to behave in a different manner.
Definitely.
Where that is concerned. So this is Dasheen.
Look at that.
This is Dasheen and early days in Dasheen. This is one of my proud moments again. And I say that because one of the major issues in Dasheen is not just tar leaf hopper, but weeds.
Weeds, yeah.
And so this farmer in particular wanted a methodology, wanted a strategy to see how best he could employ a chemistry that would give you the levels of control that we're talking about here. And so the Dasheen was present, just plant, and we just go through the furrows and in between plants.
And this is an important strategy, especially for Dasheen, especially for even Dasheen where you apply a lot of water, keeping that soil moist. You have a lot of weed growth, or weed seeds germinating. So having this pre-emergent control is excellent for the farmer.
Perfectly so.
Definitely.
And what we recognize is, as the plant canopies, then even if we're going to have a regrowth of anything, guess what? It's minimal to none. And so in your control area, where Prol was concerned, we had to weed it about 2 or 3 times during the crop life. Whereas even with what we had, only some nutsage and some other small weeds came back into the field. And so another added benefit in terms of cost saving measures here with us from Caribbean Chemicals.
Look at that, onion.
So this is onion as well as scallion. Easy said. When you plant onions, one of the bigger labor costs, January, you know it, is definitely labor and labor to weed. And especially for those farmers who were impacted by the rain recently, and then now you're hurried into production No.
Weed pressure is
So
very
the
high.
weed pressure is going to be high. And one of the easy and best ways to do that is to just simply, once you get to your 3-leaf stages in your onion, get your moisture in, and you can
Spray
move over the crop with your prowl. In scallion, easy cheesy. Whether you just plant it out or during the crop, you can just simply go through and spray. You
Safe
don't have
to
any
spray over.
timeline to wait, so it's very much safe to go ahead and do your application
And the control you're getting is for the rest of the crop, right?
for the rest of the crop.
that's
So
good,
this
that's good.
one application gives you control for 8 weeks.
Lovely.
2 months.
So,
Nothing to bother you in terms of weed, just to fertigate and to go get ready for harvesting.
so you tell me something now if I use my fork again.
No.
No fork in the
Sorry, you don't need 10 more or 15 more people to come back
Alright.
on the farm,
Alright.
except to harvest the onions
Alright.
or to pull up your
lovely.
scallion and to go to market. You don't need that labor force. No, that cash you're going to be putting out can be saved, can be used for the upcoming crop cycle. But not just that, January. A point, it just flashed into my mind. If your plot is weed free, say you have 10 acres and it's weed free, the next crop cycle, guess what? You're still managing weeds with prowl.
That
You
is
still don't have that cost factor to bring up your cost of production to cause you to not get into the winning circle where prowl is concerned. So benefits all around. Here we did it in lettuce. This is bogwhole
This is
particular. We applied prowl, turned on the sprinklers to drive it down
Lower.
to about an inch and a half below the root zone, and then we transplanted the seedlings.
And
This is 24 hours after now.
give me a breakdown. Generally, when you have weeds in your lettuce, very difficult to weed, right?
Yeah,
Very
man,
difficult.
because the plants are close, you're going to have to weed this at least 2 or 3 times.
Whoa.
So that's money there now you're saving and by just employing prowl. By
And-
just using 1 liter of prowl, you're controlling having to go find scarce labor
to do a manual.
to do manual work who might get paid and never get it done properly.
Oh,
And prowl getting the job done properly right here.
very effective control.
Very effective control, doing exactly what it ought to do, which is suppress the weed seeds, and then you're moving. So you lay down prowl, get some moisture in, and then you can transplant. And don't be concerned about the fact that you might be breaking that film. Because you've moved it within the first 2 to 3 inches of the soil, that barrier is deeper down. So even with footprint and walking, you're not
Don't
impacting
disrupt
that
it.
seal.
Oh.
You're not disrupting that seal.
That's what I like to hear, Parker.
So you can't break that seal. Christopher Brahma can attest to this right now in Spice Grove, Manchester. Because we employed it right there and then, and him keep on saying, the moment we get prowl, Mr. Parker, I need some liters of it, because he does romaine lettuce. And from time to time, even, you buy mulch plastic, it cannot be recycled. So, it makes no sense to invest that way. So getting a liter of prowl, you reduce your weed seed population, transplant your seedlings, and you're in the winning edge right there. So
and remember, viewers, if you're just joining, we have prowl in stock now. So come on, or check your farm stores.
Yeah, man. And if not, ask for it. We have our different infield reps.
Yeah.
Our ISPs, our different sales rep, or even us. Reach out to us at our different numbers, 757-0022. Or drop us a line at WhatsApp, Instagram, or Facebook, or even in this YouTube session, so you can get more information on the different chemistries that we carry. Again, another example where prowl was utilized. This is romaine lettuce. This is an overhead just coming into early vegetative stage. We're talking about a side-by-side comparison here and now. So what then are the benefits here? This nutrient, January, what happened to the fertilizer?
Basically, the plants is able to pick it up.
There you go.
No competition.
Over the control side, what? The weeds and the lettuce are benefit.
I can barely even see what is
exactly
what is weed. So, and look at the head size, because there's no competition. All that nutrients is going to the plant. You're getting the results from the prowl, and you can basically estimate you probably can harvest earlier.
That also is what is important here and now, viewers. The benefits and the long-term benefits of using these BASF products. Excellent chemistries, thought out right through from the start to the finish. What's happening here in the cabbage?
All right, so the same experience like with your side, as you know, labor is short all around, right? So what the aim was to do was to show the farmer side by side to have him get a feel of the importance of using Prowl. Because we usually run our demonstrations to let the farmers see with their eye what is going on. All right, so the side to the left, what we did was to apply Prowl about a week before transplanting.
Yes, yes.
Right? We did the same approach. This is drip. So what we did was to wet the area, apply the Prowl, wet it a little, and then wait a week until we transplant it, right?
Okay.
And for the right side now, we didn't do any application of Prowl. And you see that? You're looking at that? Grass coming up in that cabbage field. So, and based on the time that the farmer was doing it, you know what this was? So about in the June, July.
There you have it.
So with any weed pressure, you know, you generally have moths.
Yeah, diamondback moth population is going to spike on you, and then it's going to lose those heads because of the larvae that is coming through. So again, another benefit of doing these
the Prowl application.
And these things are so simple, farmers, and they are so effective at the same time. I'm wondering if people are catching on to these things, January.
I think so.
I wonder if they're adopting and taking it on and getting their Prowl, getting them Regnum and them Zampro and them all these other chemistries.
I have a feeling. Based on the demand I'm seeing out there, I have a feeling persons are catching on and seeing the importance. And right now, going into 2023, you know, everybody watching the pocket, you know.
There you have it.
Everybody watching the pocket and labor is scarce. So having these chemistries will give you a solution.
And these solutions, Janoy, are long-term and they are effective. And the greater benefit, of course, is that the farmer comes out on the winning side.
That is it.
Excellent results we're seeing here, even in Kalaloo.
To wrap up quickly, basically what is happening is that generally Kalaloo farmers use a lot of water, right? So they use sprinkler irrigation. So they always have a high weed pressure.
Indeed.
So what we say to the farmer, hear what now? Do a test out. Do half of the field with the Prowl application and leave the other half. So see for yourself. And what we observe is that after about, I think, 5 days before transplanting, farmer did the application and planted out, did the same for the control, and that's what we have, right? No weed growth right there. The seedlings can freely grow.
Yes.
The farmer can focus on other activities like fertilizing, insecticide spray, or establishing a new field.
Versus the control area.
The control area, and sometimes, you know, persons tend to use very aggressive products to control the weeds.
Exactly,
right?
And you lose plants in that regard.
And you lose plants.
Drifting occurs. So it's an all-around benefit, and I like what is happening here where this BASF portfolio is concerned, because you see the impact in terms of the results that the farmers are getting, and of course, once employed, and we share this information, farmers and viewers, you know, enthusiasts, you know, we're anticipating that you all around will, of course, move to your different farm store locations and pick up these products. You know, there's one thing we didn't share with our viewers. Our 2023 calendar is out. It's available and it's in demand. Get your copy. You might just see yourself in it, or better yet, you might just see a solution in it that you need to employ on your farm itself. There are different strategies, there are different products. So your local farm stores, if they're not there, reach out to us, ask us, how come we shop at that farm store? I want to see no calendar. What is happening there? And if you go there for the different chemistries and you're not finding it, you call us and say, so and so farm store, we've been there and we're not seeing the BASF line. I'm not seeing no Regnum. I'm not seeing no Zampro. I can't find Acrobat. We want to hear from you so that we can, of course, respond in timely manner to get those chemistries to you. And so, as usual, John, we're having our different events or different field activities so as to bring more knowledge and information to our farmers.
So on Tuesday, January 31st, there's a farmer training on pineapple production, right? The CCJ way, and this is Pisca Square in St. Elizabeth, and it starts at 11 a.m. And this is your rep. This is with your rep, Cian Spence, right? And on Wednesday, February the 1st, on Power 106 at about 6:15, the usual radio program, we're talking about farming issues, right? Either products or issues relating to the farming activity. Both product development agronomists, myself and Mr. Parker, will be on. And on Thursday, February the 2nd, there's a farmer training in Silver Grove, Manchester. and that will be on Saita and Evergreen. I would
Yes, indeed.
touch on the point with Mr. Parker. So
Yes, indeed.
come on
yes,
out.
indeed. Yes, indeed. There's several activities for the upcoming week. Stephanie is telling me that some persons would have responded by now to the response. Okay, I'm not. What were you saying? Okay, indeed. So the activities are, of course, very much out there for
Oh, yes.
your participation, farmers. So be it that you're planting your carrots or your different crops, bear in mind that.
And going into 2023, farmers will be testing more products. So if you're willing to be a part of any trial or demonstrations, you can basically just give us a link. And what we recommend is that we want to improve or increase your production. So we're willing to do any testing of the products that will help to boost the yield.
Yes,
Right.
indeed. And another factor too that we didn't announce, John. I wonder why we're forgetting so many things. Our website is live, up and running. If you haven't been on the Caribbean Chemicals webpage, I don't think you've been online. Where have you been all this time? You're not searching the right platform, man. Come on now. So if you're not on our Instagram or Facebook and our YouTube page, you should find yourself at our very much well-informed, properly equipped.
Yeah, man.
I mean, that's a good up. Can I say
Oh,
that?
oh.
Yeah, proper
Go ahead.
web page. It's an excellent source of information. So what is that web page? It's Carib Chem Jam. So www. Typing it in, Carib Chem Jam. So it is, of course, very much available for your viewing pleasure. Information is present, lots of data, field results, testimonials, all of these things are present on our website. Be it our Instagram page or YouTube page, you can, of course, find yourselves there where you can get added data. So for our question of the day.
So, all right. So, you're listening. So, name 2 BASF products.
Yes.
You hear me? Name
Not
2
one, but
BASF
2.
products
Yes.
that will give both fungicidal benefits and excellence effect.
Well, this was a good class, so I see the hands going up. Me, sir, me, sir, me, sir. And while we're at that, and I'm going to be getting the responses shortly, our field staff very much always present and available. Sir Patrick Kenya and Dennis Lecky in the Middlesex area. So we're talking about your Portland, your St. Mary, St. Anne. Reach out to them. They can, of course, get to your different sites, your field, where you can ask for some assessment and, of course, get your feedback in terms of what to do. Johnson and Jaden Dillon in your St. Andrew, your St. Thomas and St. Catherine region. Yeah. Always available. Reach out to us at the different numbers on the different platforms. Save the number in your phone. Have it in a speed dial because these are important people. Yours truly and Charmaine Walker Robinson. That's Dean Parker, Charmaine Walker Robinson in your central region, which is Manchester and Clarendon. And of course, Sion Spence, Andre Rance in St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, and covering the grounds in St. Elizabeth as well. Giving you, so we've had it all covered. Definitely. No man, somebody leave out, man. Aluda Shaw is in St. James and Trelawney as well as Hanover. He'll be paired up shortly with an excellent agronomist again to provide your growing needs. So that is it for our program this afternoon. Still awaiting the feedback from the different farmers. Of course, reach out to our different numbers. We have our numbers, our WhatsApp line, 876-401-4766, or on our YouTube, Instagram page. You can type in the chat. Stephanie is there very much awaiting your feedback and responses at the same time.
Seems like they want me to walk away with the prize in the party.
I don't want to carry home the prize. We can't get the prize, we can't get the prize. As Sir Rattigan said, he must get the prize. No, we don't want to give the prize. We want to give the prize to a farmer.
No, Sir Rattigan's a big
Sir
farmer.
Rattigan is a farmer indeed. So, of course, 2 products that has the excellence and fungicidal effect It's been a session that was quite informative, quite educational. So, feel free to drop us the response. Even if we've closed the session, still respond. And of course, we'll reach out to you via the different platforms.
And before we leave, Parker, we're expanding the BASF line, so look out for new chemistries going forward. So if you are a lover of the BASF brand, look out for new chemistries. Because I hear a person say, John, I don't have that yet, but look out for new chemistries.
Excellent. And so we continue to serve your growing needs and to give you whatever chemistries you so desire. It is quite an informative session. I must say thank you for joining this afternoon and for participating in the different activities coming up in the week, whether you tune in on our session on Power 106 or you join us in field. It's always a pleasure to have you. Jonoy.
And thanks again, viewers. Take care.